need more ingenuity in creating new team names. I think that's what it is. Well, here we go. And, ooh, Pro Pillow. Now, I didn't notice this the first time around, but Pro Pillow is not running a dragon deck at all. He's got Sword, Shadow, Blood, which is Bloodcraft deck, I think. It's doing quite well for himself. And on Twin Star's side, it's Rune, Dragon, Shadow, with Dragon being banned. Sword is not a thing in this matchup. How does Shadow versus Blood play out, especially Atomy Shadow?
Mofo, you can take that one. How does Atomy Shadow handle Blood? Aggro Blood at that.
Well, at a glance, I think Atomy Shadow, I think this has actually started to just turn into my answer to everything about this deck. Is it plays everything early on and it slams an enemy, and if that works, it works. And if it doesn't work, it just glues something together that works afterwards. Like, after watching like 8 resolve in a single game, that's all I have to say about this deck. I think Aggro Shadow, on the other hand, I mean Aggro
8 resolve
Blood,
in a single game when only 6 could exist to begin with. I
yeah,
like
15 resolve in a single game. I'm like hallucinating it. I see one now actually happening every time I close my eyes. But
yeah,
Pro Pillow.
Atomy comes down. What does he say in English? You know what he says in English?
No, I'm a weeb. I use the Japanese voices all the time.
Same. Razor Claw and Bellinus is very interesting there. I would honestly suffice to say that Aggro Blood on the play would be an excellent deck to take down Atomy, as it would just do too much damage too fast. He's also stomping Atomy with spells like Razor Claw, so I think this is honestly in Pro Pillow's court.
Although a lot of people sometimes will have this impression that you can stop aggro by playing out followers early also. The stickiness of the followers played by Atomy's deck, even though they can make trades procedurally, Twin Star's still the one taking damage on the end of it. He's the one having to make the trades after eating these hits. So I guess we'll have to see if he can figure out a way to summon an enemy. He's actually close he can do it this turn, can't he? Just by popping this Bone
Chimera. He actually can throw in the Bone Chimera and then play the, he can play the, what is it, Frozen Mammoth, I think is the actual name of the card. That's it, Frozen Mammoth. God, easy.
So how does Pro Pillow, is he okay?
He doesn't, actually. He probably doesn't. I think he might have a Dance of Death, a Singleton Dance of Death, and if he doesn't, then the game is over. So, that is probably the fastest game we've seen.
There you go. That's the 60th, now counting multiplicatively, enemy we've seen today. There's no way to clear it. You can see from Pro Pillow's board, that's just it. That's Twin Star got it.
Good job.
And Pro Pillow is
Blood deck does play a double Dance of Death, and he didn't find it, so unfortunate for him.
Top 8 cards of his deck would have needed to see one of those. Well, he has some Vanias that he can throw him for some damage, but really there was no way to play that hand. Would actually have cleared any of this.
Smorked for 18 on turn 5. Has to feel bad, man. Hello, taking an early loss here. Wow. That's what Atomy's supposed to do, though, so.
Well, there you have it.
And that right there is why we see so many Atomy decks in tournament. That's what it's supposed to do. It did the thing that it was supposed to do, and it won, so.
And now, we have this special opportunity, perhaps. Well, maybe he'll play Blood again. But Pro Pillow to advance is going to have to play his own Atomy deck. So hopefully he gets to have his turn doing that very same thing versus a list that I think could be very vulnerable to such a series of plays.
Time to get started. I guess you're looking for a fight.
True that. Twin Star is on Dimensional Shift Rune, which, you know, historically has been very bad against Aggro Blood. This is honestly like one of the worst matchups you don't want to see, especially when it has a curve of 1, 2, 3. You definitely don't want to see that. But this will definitely be interesting. Pillow is going second this time, so Dimensional Shift having the advantage, and also an excellent hand for it, so.
He's got things going. Though, I've heard it said before that Aggro Sword among all aggro decks has the best matchup versus D-Shift most of the time. Blood not too far behind. I think the only unfortunate thing is that Blood Wolf dies to magic missiles, but one of them's going to be used up here, or one of his pings is going to be used up here.
Right, he's going to put that damage on Goblin in case he draws another, like he has a 1 damage Wind Blast, or he also does another magic missile. He can actually take care of the Goblin. Also, throwing the 1 damage face doesn't really accomplish much. Giant Chimera drawn for Twin Star. I love that card.
The family size Chimera. gonna start his ascension here. Angelic Snipe use. I think Propillo actually played the Urias in order to avoid the possibility of another ping, and that Twin Star Magic Missiling a Goblin might imply he wants to hit it with something small, and therefore he doesn't play a Blood Wolf that might lose a bit more damage in that case.
Mm-hmm. This turn, if he wants to play on curve, he only plays a lowly Angel of the Ward, but if he does choose to pass that up, next turn he could go double Blood Wolf with an Evolve and push a lot of face damage. He might be considering the Urias this turn, but I think that Angel of the Ward's probably a little bit better.
I agree, because I've now seen the Light of Magic Owl, and I don't imagine Twin Star would use such a card, even if he would had one in his hand or something like that Propillo may be thinking about.
Okay,
Next
looks
turn,
like
but
he
he
goes for the
actually...
Blood Wolf instead, though. Interesting.
Mhm.
There was a situation where Angel of the Word would have done, if Dimensional Shift Rune summoned a follower for some reason, Angel of the Word would have done the same 1 damage that Urias would have done, but Angel of the Word could have also attacked the following turn for more damage than Urias. But the Blood Wolf looks like it's actually going to pay off for him and do more than 2 damage, which is very bad for Dimensional Shift.
When the reach of finding a Razor Claw means that that's so much this turn, the Urias gonna get this ping on Twin Star if he decides to go for the Merlin next turn. I think Propillo is in a fantastic position here.
Unbelievable!
Yeah, this is looking incredibly good for Propillo. He can just next turn, no matter what Twin Star does, he can go Angel of the Word into Razor Claw, followed by Carabos, which is kind of just the perfect curve for aggro blood. Using up all of your cards in an optimal fashion. Wind Blast and an Evolve can happen this turn, though, so
You're done for.
so unfortunate.
Not by any means a perfect clear, but he has to take that full trade in order to prevent as much damage as possible.
And this is probably even a Dance of Death coming down for a Merlin if it lived for some reason, but it probably won't. This is 99% going to be Propillo's game. I don't see a way that Twin Star comes back from this.
This Propillo doesn't... Well,
No!
I see no way for Twin Star to clear the remainder of this board. Leaving anything alive puts him in Dance of Death range, so he doesn't really have access.
Golem Assault is such an interesting card, but when you can't choose to not enhance it, and it has to enhance, it feels so bad.
As a person who has become very fond of that card, I think that is by far the most noticeable time where a card's enhance being annoying actually just
I'm through.
constantly impacts the value of it.
Right, and Twin Star, that was a really bad matchup for him. I think if we use like ladder stats, that matchup has close to a 20% chance on Twin Star's side. Just something he realistically can't win, honestly.
It's not something that he's built to or prepared to at all handle that kind of matchup, so we just kind of see Propillo taking it, and now my very favorite deck that I now am probably going to dream about, Atomy. We're going to see how this fares versus D-Shift. Now this can go a lot. This can go any number of ways.
Mother, father, come on! I guess you're looking for a fight.
This is definitely interesting. This could just be a fast enough Atomy into a fast enough win, and it looks like he has the hand set up for it too. Twin Star, if he finds, never mind, if he finds Fiery Embrace, which he does have 2 of, so.
Alright. Well, Propillo actually just has an Atomy that he can play on turn 3. And I don't think
Turn
it's
3 and
contestable.
Atomy on the play, something you don't want to hear ever. It looks like Twin Star might just be already out of it. He doesn't have a Fiery Embrace. He's got a little measly Golem, but a turn 3 Atomy is just not good enough. Or against the turn 3 Atomy, it's just not good enough. Especially when you need 4 face damage too. This is just not good. Poor Twin Star. Oh my gosh.
I feel great sympathy for him, as Twin Star couldn't have possibly known this. Well, he could have imagined that it is within Propillo's deck list that he has Voices
Right,
of
yes,
Resentment.
within the grasp of his deck, yeah. And
Yeah,
this is a pretty
Kaleidoscope.
Bible Thump situation. Impressive. Oh no.
Press F to pay respects for Twin Star here.
Press F to pay respects. Propillo, my man. He can't even evolve Atomy the next turn, by the way.
We're
He
still
can't
too
even
early
evolve
in
it.
the game for that. This is still the early game.
This is an 8/8 follower when 3 play points were available to you. The best he can do is just dump 3 damage into it. You know, hopefully you can kill it Eventually, someday.
Some card in his hand could turn into a follower that he could evolve somehow.
Not here. Not now.
Well, suppose looking at what's left in his hand, the only thing I could write in Twin Star's Elegy this game is that probably wishes at this point that he had been able to see Propillo's hand, could have smelled that there was actually an enemy on turn 3 there, despite there being 2 open slots needed, and played the Kaleidoscopic Glow. I think that was his only way out.
Right, yes, the Kaleidoscopic Glow was the only way to stop this happening. But it looks like he's just gonna get hit by the second Kamehameha wave of Atomy, and he's gonna die, I think. Yeah, there's nothing he can do.
I say it looks a bit more like a Kaioken. A Kamehameha wave is more like the Deepwood Anomaly attack, but no difference.
Right.
It just hits him and it
Oh my gosh.
That, you know, sometimes there are just things that happen. Hey, but it was fair, right? It was fair. Fair's fair. You play games like these and you win the prizes that you deserve.